North Peace Museum. How's it going this morning, Heather?
I'm doing well, you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for taking some time to talk to us today because you've kind of got, well, you've always got lots going on at the museum, but you've got two major projects that kind of have been announced in the recent weeks that I wanted to talk to you about. One is you're digitizing all the newspapers that have been in the North Piece from your collection, putting them basically in electronic form, which is a huge job. And the other one's about veterans. You're trying to identify all veterans from the North Piece as well, which it's sort of hard to believe, but no one has just a list of that anywhere. So you're trying to generate that. We're going to talk about that in a second. First up, the newspaper's job. Tell us a bit about that and why you want to do this.
So this has long been a dream of ours. It's a lot easier for us to respond to research requests and to develop new exhibits if our newspapers are searchable.
Hmm.
So we were really fortunate this spring. We got a large grant from the Peace River Regional District, and this will allow us to start on this whole project. We've purchased a large scale scanner through Ideal Office Solutions, and they also supplied us with their 4 software, which makes the whole thing searchable.
Wow.
So this is now a project on our laps to scan all these newspapers in. So far, we've got about almost 3/4 of a year, so we need lots of help from volunteers.
3/4 of a year, is that what you said?
Yes.
All right. A few more years to come up after that. You said it makes it searchable. So that means once it's all scanned in and kind of ready in the database, you could say, type in a name and it'll scan through all the files to find that name mentioned in articles.
Yes, it will be totally amazing. Right now, we go through microfilm and it's like looking for a needle in a
Yeah.
haystack.
Wow, that's so cool. That's fascinating. So you said you're only kind of 3/4 of a way through a year. How big would you say your collection is? Can you kind of quantify that for us?
Well, with the help of the Alaska Highway News, who is loaning a bunch of papers as well,
Hmm.
there's 75 years to do for the Alaska Highway News and about another 7 or 8 years for the Northeast News. And then
Hmm.
we have a few random papers in our collection as well to do. So it's a long process.
Do you have an idea of sort of a plan, like how long it may take you, or is that sort of up in the air at this point?
That really depends on the amount of volunteers we get and whether we get some grants for summer students and so on who can help with this project as well. But yeah, we're probably looking at 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
But every bit helps. As soon as we have, the first 30 years of the Alaska Highway News, it's going to be so amazing.
Yeah. Wow. What an incredible project. All right. And then the second one we wanted to talk about, you said you're a little less involved in, but there's lots of volunteers working on, again, a pretty big project. You're trying to identify veterans who have lived or are from the North Peace, right?
Yes, so this started with 3 volunteers who were compiling just a list of veterans, some basic information, birth date, death date, some service information, just trying to identify them because we've had partial lists. We assembled one years ago that had to do with veterans of the First World War. The Legion has some plaques, but by no means was either system complete, and we often get some requests from teachers and so on
Hmm.
looking for information on these veterans. So it started as just a basic project to get some simple information, find out where these people were buried, and even that in itself is a huge project. And now we have another volunteer, Lana Gay Elliott, who's trying to flesh out the stories and write a few paragraphs about each of these veterans. So far, we have over 500 veterans, so it's a huge project.
Do you have a sense or any idea how many veterans there could be that you're hoping to identify? Or again, I mean, is that unknown because you honestly have no information about how many there could be?
Yeah, again, there are well over 500, probably around 600 or 700 would be my guess, but
Hmm.
we don't know for sure. A lot of people don't come to this area until right after they serve in these wars, and they get veterans land grants. and then they join the Legion and so on. But very few people were living in this area, at least for the First World War, before they enlisted. And you couldn't enlist in Fort St. John. You had to go to places like Grand Prairie, Edmonton, Vancouver. So.
Wow, these are just both fascinating projects. All right, if somebody has information, they have a relative or their spouse, or they are themselves a veteran, they want to make sure they are included in this list and information, how do they get a hold of you to tell you about that and maybe tell you their story?
And you can call the museum at 250-787-0430, or you can email us at fsjnpmuseum@fsjmail.com.
Excellent. And then one final pitch here, Heather. You guys are open right now. You've got kind of shorter hours, I guess, due to COVID and whatnot. Tell us, well, why should we come to the museum before Christmas?
Well, we are all decorated for Christmas, so
Excellent.
you can actually do a free Christmas scavenger hunt along with your admission for the month of December. We're open through December 24th.
All right. And what do you open each day? Is it different or?
Monday to Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturdays, 11 to 3.
All right, Heather. Well, it's always so great to check in with you and all the fascinating things going on at the Fort St. John North Peace Museum, fsjmuseum.com for more information. Thanks for talking to us, Heather.
Thanks for having me.
Let's take a listen to some homegrown local